everyone. And welcome to the Embrace It Community Podcast. This is I'm your host, Bracy Goodwin.
Hey, good evening, everyone. How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to another Embrace It Community Podcast show tonight. And I want to thank everyone for joining in. Thank everyone for coming in this evening, no matter where you are. If you are on the East Coast, thank you so much. If you are watching in another area of the world, I have visitors watching all over Nairobi, Kenya. I have people watching in Dominican Republic as well. So I want to thank you all for watching and coming on in and joining in this conversation tonight. First and foremost, if you are not following me on any of my social media platforms, please do. Please follow me, YouTube, Instagram, and I also have the Embrace It Community Podcast page. You can also email me at the Embrace It Community Podcast at gmail.com. You can email me there if you want to talk about some insight on how you're feeling about the show. But I thank you all for following. I really do thank you all for following and joining and watching this show and supporting, man. Supporting is the most important thing that you can ever do for me on this show. So I thank you all for supporting this show. And as I always talk about, before I talk about anything else, being an advocate for suicide prevention, that's me. I am an advocate for suicide prevention. And in this show tonight, we're going to talk about why I am and what it really means to the community. And you may not see it directly on the show, but I get the calls afterwards and just speaking up where they really are, trying to meet them where they are. And all I do is just tune in and listen to them. So this is why I'm a big advocate on suicide prevention. And I mention it every week. I talk about this every week. So suicide prevention hotline 988. When I say to you, send this to someone, I'm not just saying it just because. I'm saying it because people need it. They don't remember this number in a time of need. They don't have anything on their mind what's weighing them down at the time. So this is why I always put it up here. So remember to send this to someone and share it. Know it by heart if you can. Make sure somebody get it. This is a crisis hotline. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's in English and it's in Spanish as well. The call is free. It's confidential. Everything that they're directing you to and trying to help you with is free. It's for your need. And so this is why I put this up every week. So thank you all that tell me each week, man, your show is really impactful. And thank you for this suicide prevention hotline. And I'm going to tell you why later, because I'm telling you, it's needed. It's needed. It's out there. And I'm getting the calls. Also, I always put this up here too, buymeacoffee.com and Embrace It. And the reason why I'm putting that up here, because it helps support the show with what I'm trying to do. I don't have any sponsorship or anything like that, but your help, your little $2 that you go in there and put in, or $4 or whatever. And if you become a sponsor, a regular monthly sponsor, it does help the show stay on the air, because everybody knows everything costs. Everybody is right now experiencing a financial burden on their life and everything that's going on. We're all doing it, but I'm believing God that this message keeps going and I'm able to keep doing this as much as I possibly can. Do I get discouraged and don't want to do it sometime? Yeah, I'm tired, but I have to stop a minute and say, this is not about me. I got a mission. I got a job to do here. So I keep pressing every week, but I know to listen to my body when my body's shutting down on me and I need some rest. I need to take a Sabbath or something like that. So I make sure that I do it. But buymeacoffee.com and Embrace It, /Embrace It. You can go in there. There's a QR code up at the top corner. See that QR code there in the top corner? If you're not watching from your phone, if you're watching from your computer or laptop, do a screenshot it, and then do it from your phone again. But that's how you can click on that link, go in there, and it'll say how much you want to support. Do you want to do a monthly support for this? That'd be great. Just imagine if I had 50 people monthly signing up to do $2. That would help this mission, and the money goes right into the account. And when it comes down to StreamYard, paying for the fees and everything like that, it goes directly to that. So the QR code, buymeacoffee.com/embrace it. That's where you can support. Like I say, 50 people doing $2. I'm not asking. I'm just saying, just throwing numbers out there. If you want to support it, you can. That's all I'm asking. If you want to, you can help and support this mission. Also, got something coming up tomorrow. A good friend of mine out of the New Jersey area, I want to put this up on the screen, has invited me to be on a conversation with friends. And this is going to be really, really, really a good conversation. The host is Marcella DeMoore, and she has her own platform. And we tune in and we watch each other and we support each other on their platform. And she wanted to do a Marcella with friends, and a gentleman on here, Adrian, and myself. We're going to come on her show tomorrow night on Monday, the 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 6:30 if you are on the East Coast. Tune into this. This is going to be a good conversation. So I thank you, Marcella, for inviting me in on this and uh, being a part of this conversation. I'm looking forward to it. And I believe that the topic tonight is probably going to tie into what you've been talking about or want to talk about, what needs to be talked about. Did anybody see my post I made earlier tonight? She found me in a dark place. How can a woman help a man through his dark places? Did anyone see that tonight? If you did, that's what we're going to jump into tonight. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. So that tomorrow with Marcella and friends, I'll be on that tomorrow. Okay. So I'll put it back up again before the show ends tonight to remind you, okay, what else? Is there anything else that I need to talk about? No, just how you can reach me. Remember, I said share. Hey, send this to someone tonight. I'm asking you that are watching, that are tuning in, send this to someone. Share it tonight, because this is going to be a conversation that a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people always say to me, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. And sometimes I wonder, when I keep hearing the stories about people committing suicide or struggling with suicidal thoughts that men seem to deal with. And so that's why I said tonight, she found me in the dark. She found me in the dark. So what does that mean? What does that mean to you? How can a woman help a man through his dark places? Everybody's not kind of cut out to do this. So this is what we're going to talk about tonight. Brothers, to my brothers, there are some places we can go that we never plan to visit. And it's called dark places. Places where the silence is so loud that it hurts. Places where we're holding it all together on the outside, right? We're doing our thing on the outside, showing up at work, sitting in the pew, putting on that uniform, and quietly falling apart. We are falling apart on the inside. So today we're going to talk about something that matters more than most men would admit. We're going to talk about how a woman, a wife, a mother, a sister, a friend can reach you in those dark places. And brothers, now that starts with us being honest about the dark. We have to be honest about that place that's dark. Okay. I remember a season when I was carrying everything and not telling anybody. I was it I was in a place I was working, no chaplain work, but I was playing for a church back in Ohio and working and really trying to get my life together and get back on the track, falling off the track a couple of times, divorce, falling off the track. I was a dad, Okay. I had to answer the questions. I had to walk in shame because everybody knew about the divorce, and that wasn't supposed to happen in the church. As you know, they say we wasn't supposed to deal with that. And it became dark. And I'm not blaming this at all on her. I'm blaming it on me because the healing and the correction and the place where we need to be starts within you. You have to find out what you were doing. Okay. So I had answers for everybody else. Answers to anybody that got on my bus when I was working in Ohio. Then I'm driving my bus. I had answers for everybody else, but I was silently drowning in my own. And I remember a day having a conversation. I had a conversation. I was driving my bus and I was like, God, I'm crying on the inside. This is what I was saying on the inside. How come nobody's asking me, how am I doing? But everybody's coming to me with their problems. So I didn't know how to say, I'm not okay. I didn't know how to say it. I didn't have the language. I've been trained my whole life in the military. Yeah, you put that uniform on and you do what you got to do. And then in the church, you come to church, you show up, you perform, you get on. I'm a musician. I was playing for church and I sat in church and I played every Sunday and I ushered the Spirit of God in and I helped them through the songs that they had to sing. I helped them through the prayer time that they had to pray through, to pray people through. I helped them when they got emotional and wanted to just shout and dance. I did all of that. So the strong men, this is what we do as strong men. We carry it and keep it moving. We keep it moving. And so it hurt, man. It hurt that you didn't have nobody that you can honestly yell out to. And so I tried finding relief in sexual encounters with women that wasn't even my wife. Okay, transparent time. I'm just telling you, this is what we do. We look for relief. Some men go to drugs, some men go to alcohol, some men go to other men, but I went to women and did what I felt I need to do to relief, but I really wasn't in it emotional. I was in it emotions. My emotions was being taken care of and met. So this is what I did, and it wasn't healthy. This all of this that I was doing, I knew it wasn't healthy. I knew it wasn't healthy. But I'm, you know, I'm, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything because this was relieving me from where I was or needed having me do what I need to do for the time I needed to do it. So but after all of that, and I moved to Texas, and I experienced some more trauma when I got to Texas. But I'll go into that another time. I think I may have shared that before. I experienced some more time, some trauma because here I am running to be with a woman who I thought I knew 20 years ago, and got married to this woman right off the cuff just because of what. And someone asked me the question and said, "Why did you marry her?" I said, "I married her for the sex and because she can cook." And that was it. But I didn't know that this woman had her own trauma that she was dealing with, and she had a lot of insecurity. She had a lot of low self-esteem. But I didn't know that. That didn't matter to me until I started seeing it come to me directly to me with allegations and false allegations and mental abuse and screaming and yelling and coming at me and wanting to fight and wanting me to put my hands on her and all of that stuff and calling the police unwarranted on me. But that was it. That I'm not going to go into too much, but I dealt with that when I got here. So now what I had to do once I got out of that situation, I had to find a safe place. So what I had to do was I had to move from being in a 3,400 square foot home that I invested in, put furniture in, did work in, expanded, and did all of that, bought furniture, refrigerator, everything. And I had to walk away from that. And that was the part that hurt. It hurt when I walked away from that because of I was so attached to material things. But I remember when I got to my safe place where I found my peace, and I'm in there crying, having this conversation, a pity party with myself, and I heard God say, "But you're not in jail," and that's when I had to get my thing together. So now there was a woman in my life um, that really became that person that I can share. The women in my life that wanted to just have a conversation with me and ask me a few things about me. She didn't fix me with words. She just showed up and she sat with me, even though she was in a different state. She sat with me and she sat with me in silence and she listened. And hopefully she'll tune in tonight. She'll chime in, but she was that life coach. She was that life coach that listened in silence. And something about being seen without having to explain myself started to crack something open in me. Okay. That's what tonight is all about because somebody's listening right now that's in a dark place. And somebody who loves you is wondering what to do. So this ain't about me. I'm just sharing my side. I'm sharing this to the men that are tuning in tonight. They're in a dark place. And somebody that really loves you, not it don't have to be your wife, your woman, it could be your mom, your sister, your cousin, or a close friend that you have and they want to tune in and that somebody loves you and is wondering what to do. So the reality is, here's the reality statistics that should wake us up. You're ready, men, women? Men are 3 to 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women. Yes, significantly less than to seek mental health support. They rather just end it all. I don't know why. And I'm trying to get to that point where I can fully understand why we feel we need to handle all of this stuff. But yet we get to that point where we can't handle it and we want to just break. We want to just sit in darkness or we want to go into a secret place, take that firearm and sit in a car and actually do this, want to do this. I never forget watching a movie with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, I think it was, Lethal Weapon. Remember Lethal Weapon, the movie that was out? And he was sitting there with his gun, and he had a bullet, and he was about to take his life because he was dealing with the loss of someone he really loved. So we, as men, the, men are 3 to 4 more times likely to die by suicide. Why is that? So this is what the discussion is tonight. Thank y'all for chiming in. Ricky Edwards, thank you for chiming in. Anthony Robertson, man, yeah, listen, wow, there's some stuff. So think about it. Think about it for a minute. We are dying in silence, men. We are dying in silence, not because we don't feel, but because we were never given permission to feel. We were never given permission to feel. So tonight, in this space, I'm giving you that permission. Okay. I'm giving you that permission. This is a safe place. This is a no judgment, no posturing. This is just real talk. And it's about the mask we wear. We wear a mask better than a woman can put on makeup. Yes, I've said it. We do it every day. I'm trying to calm down because this is so sensitive to me. And I'm telling you, this is hitting me home because I'm getting the calls, I'm getting the conversations, and people are coming to me saying that I thought about ending it all. And it was because of just relationship issues, um, financial issues, um, the things that I'm hearing, the reason why we want to do it is because of relationship and financial. So this is why I'm saying tonight, women, we are suffering and we just need you to listen. So from the time that we were boys, we got the message loud and clear. Man up, don't cry. Okay, be strong, shake it off. And look, some of that is about resilience. Okay. We do need to be strong. Yes, we do need to be strong, but somewhere along the way, strength become a thing of silence. Where I remember with my counselor one time, I sat in counseling and I went to her because I was going through a bad breakup, divorce, and I told her what exactly I dealt with, and she said, "Wow, you never had a voice. It sounds like you just never had a voice." And silence became a tomb. that I entered in, that we all enter in. We enter into a tomb of silence. Okay. Environments that doubled it down on us. What about, work or whatever? So we doubled down on ourselves, the environment that we in, all of the above takes us down into a dark place. This is where we go. Think about it for a minute. I want you to think about that for a minute. And when I'm saying think about it, I want you to think about you. I want you to think about where you are. Help me understand where you are now, because I don't want to seem like I'm making this up. And so I'm gonna try to read some of the comments as they're coming in, and I got some comments up here too. But I want you to understand. I want you to understand. It's about getting help, and I'm trying to take you out of a dark place. So this is where I'm at. I'm trying to take you out of a dark place. Thank you, Angel. Thank you for typing in here, and accountability. Yes, women also have responsibilities to create a safe place for the men in their lives to be vulnerable, emotional, weak. Yes. Thank you. Yes, you are right. You are absolutely right. And this is what sometimes everybody don't get it. Everybody doesn't get this. So, all right. So now let me move on with this. I want to move on with this. Three cultures that reinforce emotional suppressing. Here are three cultures that reinforce emotional suppression. You ready? The military. That's number one. In the military, I've learned discipline, mission readiness, and never show the enemy my vulnerability. Okay. But sometimes we bring that combat posture home. And I know some people that talk about this is what they bring home PTSD into our marriages, into our parenting, into our faith walks. Okay. You cannot love your family in a mission mode. It's impossible to do that. So we have to figure out how to help those that are coming home, military men, veterans, how they're coming home and they can't shake that. We have to understand where they're at, listen to them, and try to help them. You cannot grieve a loss in a tactical silence. All right. There's no purple heart for emotional endurance. So these are some of the things that were taught in the military, but now it's just starting to be recognized by the military. Number two, workplace cultures. In the workplace cultures, especially in high stakes environments, likely construction, like I work around a lot of people in construction and I've seen it, law enforcement. All right. You're measured by your decisiveness in law enforcement. You don't get promoted for saying, I'm struggling. So we perform in law enforcement. We lead meetings, we solve problems, we drive home in silence. The mask must be worn from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's what we're doing every day when we're going out here to work. We're wearing this mask. And I'm telling you, it's the reality to this all is going to really help somebody. So share this, man. I want these people to chime in here and listen to it. Now, here's the third one. And some people are gonna get mad at me, but guess what? I'm only speaking the truth. The church culture. Here we go. Yep, the church. This one is close to home for me. All right. Been in church all my life, been in ministry all my life, played for churches, sat up there, like I told you in the beginning, sat up there and made you cry, made you shout, made you sing, made you do all of that. But now, sometimes, all right, ready? Sometimes the church can be a place where we perform holiness rather than practicing healing. All right. And what do I mean by that? We give the testimonies where God brought us from, but we won't admit where we are right now. Now, I know that's going to hurt. We do that all the time. That's that mask we wear. We get in church and we will say, oh, he brought me from a mighty long way. And we go on and go on and on. But right now, you're still dealing with some dark places. So, brothers, God already knows. So stop performing for the congregation and start being honest with the Creator. I hope that helps somebody because all of that's what we're doing on a Sunday morning. The stuff that we see in church on a Sunday morning, who's that for? This is for the congregation. But really, dark on the inside, you're being honest with yourself. You need to be honest with the Creator. Because if you were honest with the Creator, okay, we wouldn't be having this conversation. because I know people in the church. I know people in the church, and I hear it all the time. I'm in the church. I heard every time. I didn't have nobody to talk to. I didn't have anybody I can talk to. And as a good friend of mine, we had this conversation. He said, "Man, I just want to be real, but I can't sit around with the brothers in the church and talk real because the first thing I want to do is say I got demons and I got spirit and all that stuff." And it just really just irritated me on hearing that. He's wearing that mask in the church that he's in. He can't sit down and say, "Man, there's sometimes I just want to have a Bud Light. I just want to have a Bud Light." And I'm listening to him. Man, it's okay, fine. Go get you a Bud Light. Because sometimes I want to have a glass of wine. Sometimes I need to, relax and calm myself down too. I'm sitting around getting crazy drunk. I'm sitting down just being real. Just just being real with people and just want to be real with people and just want to be real. But sometimes you can't be real about church folks because church folks will put you so far deep in hell quicker than anybody that's outside the church that say, "Man, I got you. I'm listening." All right, so let me calm down. Okay. So, a man who won't let anyone in will eventually find himself alone in a crowd. All right? So that's why I'm here tonight just to say trust somebody. So there's a scripture that says, the scripture says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, I believe, and save those who are crushed in spirit." You can find that in the book in Psalms 34:18. Psalms 34:18. I read again. "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit." Psalms 34:18. Brothers, the Lord didn't say he's close to put together. He said he's close to the brokenhearted. Your brokenness is not a barrier to God. Not to God. It's an invitation. He meets you in the dark, not after you cleaned yourself up. He meets you right there in the dark. Now, I only said I was going to be on here 30 minutes. I'm trying to get through this, and I appreciate the comments that's coming in here. And I want to get back to everybody later on it. But thank you for chiming in. Thank you for liking this. Women. So, how can a woman help? How can a woman help? Now, speaking directly to the women that are listening, I'm speaking to you, those that are tuning in and listening and pretty much want to know. Angel, thank you. And anyone else that's watching. This is how you can help. Now, if there's a woman listening tonight, a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter, I want to speak directly to you for a moment. Okay. You have more power than you know, not to fix us or not to fix him, not to rescue him, but to reach him. Okay. So there's the difference. You're not fixing him, you're not rescuing him, but you can reach him. So this is how you can do it. Here are 5 ways a woman can help a man navigate his dark place. 1, create safety without interrogation. Just listen. Don't interrogate. Just create safety. The number one reason men don't talk is because they don't feel safe. Not physically, emotionally. When it comes to sharing something, if it's met with judgment, um, advice giving, or a list of "you should have," we will close right back up and never try it again. What he needs is a soft place to land, not to lecture, just your presence. That's all we need. And we might find that, or they might appear to be that. And I'm not going to dampen this where I'm at, but I thought I found that. I thought I had that at one time, but I found it was being used against me afterwards in the long run. But that's not everybody. I'm just saying we need to find that safe place where we can just land. And that's it. Just listen, just your presence to listen. Okay. So let us land. Don't make him regret opening up. If he risks vulnerability and gets hurt, he learns that silence is safer. That's what a lot of us do. I'm only speaking from experience. Silence is safer. Silence can be safer for us, but it's not healthy. Only speaking from experience. That's why I'm saying this. Now, number two. Here's number two. Learn to sit in silence with him. If he's silent, you be silent. A lot of men's love language is touch. They don't even know it, but a lot of men's love language is touch. And if you just sit in silence with him and touch him, that's all he need. You will see a person, you will feel the temperature, the heartbeat, everything just start to slow down. Some of us don't have words for where we're feeling or what we're feeling. We're not being cold or dismissive. We are processing. When a woman can sit beside a man in the quiet, not demanding explanation, not filing the space with noise, the presence is healing. That's what it is. It's just healing. Sometimes love is just being there. That's what we need. Okay. I don't know if you remember the story about Mary. Mary sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he had to say. That's in the book of Luke. You can read that, Luke 10:39. She just sat there, listened to what he had to say. All right. So think about the reason why she sat there. Now, also, even Jesus honored the power of silence, the stillness. This is what he wanted. This is what he had to do. Sometimes in ministry, I have to do it. I'm just sitting there listening to people. So that's just a part of something that I have to do. Number three, and I'm gonna move on because I said I wasn't gonna hold y'all no more than 30 minutes. Notice the signs. Notice the signs before he can name them. That's what I want you to do. Women are often more emotional, intuitive. You might see this when he withdraws before he even recognized that he's withdrawing himself. Okay, y'all are good at that. Y'all are good at that. But it's not. We don't like it when you start. Well, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's the problem? What you got going on here? We don't like that. Just notice it, acknowledge it, and when we ready to talk about it, we'll talk about it. Okay. So when his appetite changes, what about that? Or when he stops laughing, or when he's going through emotions, but his eyes are somewhere else. That's not the time to wait for him to volunteer information. That's the time to gently say, "Hey, I see you. I'm not going anywhere." Man, I'm telling you, you y'all don't know. If I had that, oof, that is a good feeling to have. When your woman can say to you, "Hey, I see you. I'm not going anywhere." Man, y'all don't understand. So watch for the signs. Withdrawing from conversation or affection increases irritability or anger. Sleep pattern changes, sleeping too much or too little, loss of interest in things he's used to saying, used to the love and saying things like it wouldn't matter anyway, I'm fine when he's clearly not. So no, so don't mistake that. Number 4, don't try to be his therapist. Don't do it. Point him to the help, but you don't try to be the therapist. Okay. Sisters, okay, so you're not equipped to carry all of his pain. I'm telling y'all, you're not equipped to do it. And that's not criticism at all. That's a boundary that we have. And there's a difference between supporting and shouldering. Okay, you can walk alongside him and still say, I think we need to bring someone else in. Encourage the counseling, encouraging it, encouraging his pastor or whoever he trusts, his mentor, normalize getting the help. Make it normal, make it look good to him. So that's it. Men, all right. If she suggested, this is what I'm saying. If she suggested, don't hear it as a weakness, hear it as wisdom. That's it. This is how we have to do. Women, the fifth one I want to say, pray with him, not just for him. Pray with him, not just for him. Can you do that? Do you know what that looks like? If you don't know, hit me up later. We'll talk about what that looks like, praying with him, not just for him. So This is this is powerful. Okay, this one right here, and I'm gonna get up out of here in a few minutes. When a woman prays aloud for their man over him, besides him, holding his hand, something shifts in the spiritual atmosphere. You are covering him in a way that no self help can do it. And it remains in him. Okay. I am not alone. I am worth fighting for. God sees me. So that's the key. The prayers of the righteous person is powerful and effective. That's in the Bible. That's what it says in the book of James 5 and 16. The prayer of the righteous person is powerful and effective. Brothers, let's be real with each other, okay? And I'm going to wrap this up tonight without speaking directly into men, because here's the truth. A woman can't save you from yourself. She can love you through it, but you have to choose to let her in. And even before that, you have to choose to let God in. That's the first thing. That's the most important thing. And so there are three things that a man must do before they can receive help from anyone. And that the first thing, you got to own the dark, that you are in a dark place. You got to own up to that. Stop pretending. Stop performing. All right. The first step isn't calling a counselor or opening up to your wife. It's being honest with yourself in a quiet place in your own heart, saying it, I'm not okay. That's not defeat. That is the beginning of deliverance. Break the cycle of isolation in your life. You know, isolation is an enemy's favorite weapon against men. All right. He doesn't need to tempt you into sin. He just needs that you get to your you get tired of being you. All right. That's when that happens. It's just you need to get alone enough. So be careful of that. Find one person you can trust. Start there. Start there. When you find that one person that you can trust, it doesn't have to be a big circle of people. It just has to be one person that can be real with. Number two, two people are better. Two people are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If any one of them falls, the other one can help them up. So that's why I say two people are better than one. So remember that as well. Receive help as an act of faith. That is your faith, man, kicking in, brothers. That's when that happens. When someone reaches out to a woman, a friend, a pastor, a counselor, receiving help is an act of faith. You are saying, I believe I'm worth saving. I believe. All right. So you are worth saving. I trust that God can work through people. And that takes more courage than suffering in silence. That does. So vulnerability is not the opposite of strength. It is the highest form of courage. That's what vulnerability is. So that's what you need to understand when it comes down to that. But anyway, closing reflections. I just want to close out on this. So, men, if you are finding yourself in a dark place, um, I need you to know something. All right, you are not a burden. You are not beyond reach. None of that is true. You're not beyond reach. You're not too far gone. The same God who said, "Let there be light" in the middle of the darkness when he created it is speaking over your life tonight. All right. And if there's a woman in your life who keeps showing up, who's sitting there with you in silence and who keeps praying for you, even when you push back, okay, that is not a coincidence that that person is there. That's God's grace with skin on it. So let her in. Just go ahead and let her in. So here's my challenge to those that watch tonight, family members all of those that tuned in tonight. Women, thank y'all for your support tuning in. I think the women were saying more than the men were, and they're just sitting back. So here's my challenge. The Embrace It Community Challenge. Embrace it. I want you all to do this. Men, have an honest conversation this week. First, have an honest conversation with God. All right. Then have it with your woman or with someone that you trust. Trusted brother, it doesn't matter. Just one person. That's it. Just have it with one person. Then women, ask the man in your life, how are you really doing? How are you really doing? And then just listen to it. All right? That's all I'm asking. That's what I want you all to do. If y'all can do that, brothers, if y'all can do that, man, it's the start. It's the start of fixing you. It's the start of healing you. It's the start. Ladies, same thing. If you can do that, help that man, help that brother, help that nephew, whoever it is, just help them out. All right. So here's my closing prayer. Father God, first of all, I thank you for every person who tuned in tonight. Lord, I ask that you reach the man who is sitting in silence right now, who thinks nobody sees him. Remind him that you are close to the brokenhearted. Give him the courage to let love in. Your love and the love of people you've placed in his life. And to every woman listening, thank you for being the carriers of your grace. Help them love with patience and wisdom. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. So, thank you. Appreciate you all. Share this. Can y'all do me a favor and share this tonight? Will y'all do me a favor? Please share. I can't say that enough. Share this tonight. And remember the suicide prevention number 988, Suicide Crisis Hotline. I want y'all to remember that. I appreciate the hearts. Man, I'm telling you, sometimes, I toss with being transparent because I don't want people thinking that, I'm sitting over here by myself about to lose it. And I'm not. I'm good. I'm just trying because I care for the people who watch. I care for those that tune in. And I'm just trying to help someone because someone helped me. And that was my counseling and that was my therapy. So if I can help somebody along the way, then my living is not in vain. And if I can just change the life for one person, I'm good. I did what I was supposed to do. 988 Suicide Hotline. Okay. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for following. Thank you all for that who has took time to say, I'm going to buy Bracy a cup of coffee. There it is again. buymeacoffee.com at Embrace It. All right, /Embrace It. Sorry about that. buymeacoffee.com /Embrace It. That's how you can support this thing that I'm doing here. I appreciate you. Angel, thank you. Your transparency will free someone else. Yep. I'm trying. Thank you for that support. Andrell, praying for the person is the ultimate act of intimacy. You hit it right on the head. Ding. That's it. That is it. All right. I knew this conversation was needed. I knew that I needed to have it because I'm getting the calls afterwards and I'm talking to people and I just want to be a light, that beacon of light. You ever see the fog light out in the middle and that beacon of light, you can always see that through the fog. So some people are in a foggy place right now and the only thing they can see is a light and they are hoping that that light is not an oncoming train, if that makes sense. So I want to be that beacon of light. So keep chiming in, follow, like, share this tonight. I appreciate it. If y'all do, I appreciate if you all support it and follow and just share it with somebody. It's going to show again. But tomorrow night, I just want to remind everybody, tomorrow night, check me out tomorrow night on this conversation that I'm going to have with Marcella tomorrow night. That's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is going to have the talk. We're just going to be talking. We just going to talk what we do. Two men. She's always have the women on her show, so she asked the men to come on and talk. So we're going to do that tomorrow night at 7:30. So if you can, just remember to tune into her. I'm gonna leave that up for a while so you all can copy it down and check us out. But I appreciate you again. I love you with all that I have. This is the only reason why I'm doing this. And those of you that are on the East Coast, I know you're about to get some bad weather out there. My children are out that way, and I'm trying to reach them before the night go. And I know they're going to be safe because we New Yorkers, we're kind of used to it, but still, you want to check on your loved ones. So check on your peeps that are on the East Coast. Make sure that they're doing okay in this storm that they're about to have. 20 inches. I think New York City is calling for 20 inches of snow. Man, that's not good. What is this? The end of February, March? Yeah, they got about one more month. March, April, and then that's, when it's going to start wrapping up here. So I'm glad I moved to Dallas, Texas, where we don't get that much. We'll get a little ice every now and then. We won't get that stuff. All right. So what else? I think I got everything covered. I left that up there for you. Marcella and Friends tomorrow. I'm leaving it up there and I'm going to post it on my page. I think I put it on my page already. Check me out tomorrow. Check out the conversation I have. I bet you, and I don't even know what the conversation is going to be like tomorrow, but how much you want to bet it's going to touch on what we talked about tonight. This is why God is having me have this conversation tonight, because I think that's what's going to happen tomorrow. So listen, I love y'all. All right. Keep on loving each other and keep on loving yourself. It's something that I say every morning when I wake up. I say, today is going to be a peaceful day. I keep saying that every morning when I wake up. Today is going to be a peaceful day. So put that in before you touch your cell phone and before you turn the TV on, you get up, go to the bathroom, you wash your hands, come on back out and say, today is going to be a peaceful day. I guarantee you what you speak out into the atmosphere has got to come back to you. So that's what I do. I speak that. All right. So I want you all to have a peaceful day. I want you all to have a great week. Love you all. And I love you. That's because I love myself. So this is why I do what I do. All right. But thanks for tuning in again. All right. I'm out of here tonight. Y'all have a fantastic week. Stay safe. Stay safe mentally. Men, don't forget. Listen, let her in. Let her in. Let her in. All right.
Thank you for listening to Embrace It, the community podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Follow the community podcast page on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Please like and share the podcast with your community circle.